Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. 2025 is your year. I don't care what happened in 2024. Maybe it was rough. Maybe you lost something, your job, your confidence, your direction. Maybe you looked in the mirror and didn't even recognize the person staring back at you. But let me tell you right now, you are not done. Embracing the power of change is the first and most crucial step in rebuilding yourself in 2025. Change is inevitable. It happens whether you want it to or not. The difference between people who grow and people who stay stuck is how they respond to it. Some people fight change, resist it, or complain about it, while others recognize it as an opportunity. If you want to rebuild yourself, you must shift your mindset from fearing change to embracing it. Most people are comfortable in their routines, even when those routines are leading them nowhere. They stay in the same job, the same relationships, and the same patterns because it feels safe. But let's be real, comfort zones don't produce growth. If you want something different, you have to be willing to step into the unknown. You have to be willing to get uncomfortable. Change is scary because it forces you to face the unknown. It takes away predictability, and for many people, that's unsettling. But let me tell you something. Nothing great ever happens in a comfort zone. Every successful person you admire, every person who has ever achieved something remarkable has had to embrace change at some point in their life. One of the biggest reasons people resist change is fear. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of making the wrong decision. But here's the truth. Fear will always be there. The key is learning how to move forward despite it. If you wait for fear to disappear before making a move, you'll be waiting forever. Fear is just an emotion, and emotions don't control your destiny. Your actions do. The people who succeed are not the ones who never feel fear. They are the ones who act despite fear. They understand that fear is just a sign that they're stepping into something bigger. Another thing that holds people back from embracing change is their past. Some people are so tied to who they used to be that they can't see who they could become. They define themselves by their past mistakes, past failures, and past pain. They let old disappointments dictate their future. But here's what you need to understand. Your past does not define you. Your choices do. What happened before may have shaped you, but it does not have to control you. The moment you decide to let go of your past and focus on where you're going instead of where you've been, you take back your power. Change also requires you to let go of limiting beliefs. The stories you tell yourself about who you are and what you're capable of will either build you up or tear you down. If you keep telling yourself that you're not smart enough, not strong enough, or not worthy enough, then you will live out that reality. But if you start believing in your ability to grow, to adapt, and to succeed, then everything changes. Your mind is powerful. What you focus on expands. If you focus on fear, failure, and doubt, that's what you'll get. But if you focus on possibility, opportunity, and growth, your entire life will start to shift. Another key to embracing change is understanding that setbacks are part of the process. Some people start making changes but then get discouraged the moment they hit a roadblock. They think, maybe this isn't for me, or maybe I'm not cut out for this. But listen, setbacks are not a sign to stop. They're a sign to push harder. Every challenge you face is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more resilient. The most successful people in the world have failed more times than most people have even tried. What separates them is that they didn't quit. Change also requires patience. A lot of people want instant results. They want to see progress overnight, and when they don't, they give up. But real transformation takes time. It's like planting a seed. You don't see the tree the next day, but that doesn't mean it's not growing. Every small step you take, every positive habit you build, and every effort you make is adding up. Eventually, you'll look back and realize that all those small changes led to something massive. If you truly want to rebuild yourself in 2025, you have to embrace the power of change. You have to stop making excuses, stop fearing the unknown, and stop holding on to the past. You have to believe in your ability to grow and be willing to do the work. It won't always be easy, but I promise you, it will be worth it. Developing a resilient mindset is the foundation of rebuilding yourself in 2025. Life is going to test you. It's going to throw obstacles, setbacks, and disappointments your way. And if you don't have the right mindset, you'll break under the pressure. Resilience is what separates people who overcome from people who get overwhelmed. It's not about avoiding failure or hardships. It's about how you respond to them. You have to train your mind to see challenges as opportunities, not roadblocks. One of the biggest misconceptions people have is thinking that strong people don't struggle. That's not true. Strong people struggle just like everyone else. The difference is that they refuse to let struggle define them. They understand that pain is temporary, but quitting lasts forever. They know that setbacks are set-ups for comebacks. Instead of saying, "Why is this happening to me?" they ask, "What can I learn from this?" That shift in perspective changes everything. The first step in building resilience is learning to control your thoughts. Your mind is either your biggest weapon or your biggest enemy. If you constantly tell yourself that you're not good enough, that life is unfair, or that you'll never succeed, then that's exactly what will happen. Your thoughts create your reality, but if you start feeding your mind with positive, powerful beliefs, then no obstacle will be able to stop you. Resilient people don't let negativity take over. They focus on what they can control, not on what they can't. They refuse to let fear, doubt, or past failures hold them back. Another key to resilience is accepting failure as part of the journey. People who succeed in life are not the ones who never fail. They are the ones who refuse to give up after failing. Every successful person has faced rejection, loss, and disappointment. The difference is that they kept going when most people would have quit. They didn't see failure as the end, they saw it as feedback. When something didn't work, they adjusted, learned from it, and tried again. That's the mindset you need. You have to stop seeing failure as proof that you're not good enough and start seeing it as proof that you're growing. Emotional control is another critical part of resilience. Life is unpredictable and you can't always control what happens to you, but you can control how you respond. There will be moments when you feel frustrated, angry, or defeated. That's normal. But you can't let your emotions dictate your actions. Resilient people feel the pain, but they don't let it stop them. They process their emotions, but they don't drown in them. Instead of reacting impulsively, they take a step back, breathe, and make decisions based on their goals, not their temporary feelings. Resilience also comes from having a strong sense of purpose. When you know why you're doing something, it's easier to keep pushing through hard times. People who lack direction crumble when life gets tough because they don't have a strong enough reason to keep going. But when you have a purpose, whether it's providing for your family, building a legacy, or proving to yourself that you're capable, you develop the strength to keep moving forward no matter what. Purpose gives you the energy to rise above difficulties. It reminds you that the struggle is worth it. Another thing that helps build resilience is surrounding yourself with the right people. If you're constantly around negative, toxic, or weak-minded individuals, their mindset will rub off on you. You need people in your life who uplift you, challenge you, and push you to be better. You need a support system that reminds you of your strength when you feel like giving up. But remember, resilience is ultimately built from within. You can have all the encouragement in the world, but at the end of the day, it's up to you to decide that you're not going to let anything break you. One of the biggest tests of resilience is how you handle pressure. When life gets tough, do you panic? Do you shut down? Or do you rise to the occasion? Resilient people don't crumble under stress, they adapt. They figure out solutions instead of complaining about problems. They stay calm in the storm because they trust their ability to navigate through it. Developing this kind of mental toughness doesn't happen overnight, but it starts with small daily habits. The way you handle little struggles determines how you'll handle big ones. Every time you push through discomfort instead of running from it, you're strengthening your resilience. Growth is never comfortable. It's going to test you, stretch you, and push you beyond what you thought you were capable of. But that's how you become stronger. You don't build resilience by having an easy life. You build it by overcoming challenges. Every time you face a hardship, you have a choice. You can either let it break you or you can use it to build you. The strongest, most successful people are not the ones who had it easy. They are the ones who refuse to quit no matter how many times they got knocked down. And that's the mindset you need if you want to rebuild yourself in 2025. Eliminating excuses is one of the most important steps in rebuilding yourself in 2025. Excuses are the barriers that keep people stuck in the same place year after year. They're the easy way out, the justification for why things aren't changing, and the reason most people never reach their full potential. If you want to grow, if you want to succeed, if you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to stop making excuses. You have to take full responsibility for your life, your choices, and your results. Because the truth is, nobody is coming to save you. Nobody is going to do the work for you. If you want something, you have to go out and get it. Excuses come in many forms. Some people blame their circumstances. They say, I wasn't born into a rich family. I didn't have the right education. I live in the wrong city, or I don't have the connections. While all of these may be real challenges, they are not valid reasons to stop pursuing your goals. Plenty of people have started with nothing and built something great. Plenty of people have faced obstacles and still found a way to succeed. The difference is, they didn't let their circumstances define them. They refused to let excuses dictate their future. Instead of focusing on what they didn't have, they focused on what they could do with what they did have. Other people use time as an excuse. They say, I don't have time to go to the gym. I don't have time to start a business. I don't have time to work on myself. But if you really look at how people spend their time, you'll see that most of them waste hours every day on things that don't matter, scrolling through social media, binge watching TV, or doing things that add no value to their lives. The reality is, everyone has the same 24 hours in a day. The most successful people in the world don't have extra time. They just use their time differently. If something is truly important to you, you will find a way. If it's not, you'll find an excuse. Some people blame their past. They say, I've made too many mistakes, I've failed too many times, or I've been through too much. But your past is not an excuse to stop. It's fuel to keep going. Everyone has experienced failure, heartbreak, and disappointment. The people who succeed are not the ones who had a perfect life. They are the ones who use their pain as motivation to grow. Instead of saying, I can't because of my past, say, I will succeed despite my past. Your story is not over yet. The only way you lose is if you stop trying. Fear is another excuse that holds people back. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of what other people will think. But fear is just a feeling, it's not a fact. The people who accomplish great things are not fearless. They just refuse to let fear stop them. They understand that fear will always be there, but they move forward anyway. If you let fear control your decisions, you will stay stuck forever. The key is to take action even when you're scared. Once you start moving, fear loses its power. Another common excuse is waiting for the perfect time. People say, I'll start when I have more money, I'll start when I feel ready, I'll start when everything falls into place. But there is no perfect time. If you keep waiting for the perfect moment, you will never start. The right time to begin is now. You don't need to have everything figured out, you just need to take the first step. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Progress is made by taking action, not by waiting for the perfect conditions. Taking responsibility for your life means owning your actions, your choices, and your results. It means looking in the mirror and realizing that you are in control of your future. It's easy to blame other people or external factors, but that won't change your situation. The moment you stop making excuses and start holding yourself accountable is the moment your life starts to change. Excuses may make you feel better in the short term, but they will steal your success in the long run. If you truly want to rebuild yourself, you have to let go of every excuse that's holding you back and commit to doing the work no matter what. Surrounding yourself with the right people is one of the most important decisions you will ever make when rebuilding yourself in 2025. The people you allow into your life can either push you forward or pull you backward. They can either inspire you to become your best self or drain your energy and keep you stuck. The truth is, no matter how ambitious, talented, or hardworking you are, if you are constantly surrounded by negative, toxic, or unmotivated people, you will struggle to grow. Your environment shapes your mindset, your habits, and your beliefs, which is why it is critical to be intentional about who you spend your time with. The saying, "you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with," is not just a cliche, it is a reality. If you are always around people who complain, make excuses, and settle for less, it will be almost impossible for you to rise above that level. You might have big dreams, but if the people around you don't believe in success, you will start to doubt yourself. On the other hand, if you are surrounded by people who are driven, disciplined, and constantly pushing themselves to be better, their mindset and habits will rub off on you. When you see people around you winning, it makes you believe that success is possible for you too. One of the hardest parts of leveling up is realizing that some of the people you have known for years may no longer fit into your new journey. It's tough to let go of friendships and relationships, but if someone is keeping you from growing, you have to ask yourself if they are worth the cost of your future. Some people are comfortable with mediocrity, and when they see you trying to improve, they will do everything they can to hold you back. Not because they don't care about you, but because your growth makes them uncomfortable. They don't want to be reminded of their own lack of progress, so they will try to discourage you, make fun of your ambitions, or tell you that you are changing too much. But change is necessary if you want to become the best version of yourself. Toxic people can come in many forms. Some are negative and always focus on what's wrong instead of what's possible. Some are jealous and secretly hope you fail so they can feel better about themselves. Some are just stuck in a cycle of bad habits and want you to stay there with them. If you recognize any of these patterns in the people around you, it may be time to create some distance. You don't have to cut people off with drama or anger, but you do have to protect your energy. You can love people from a distance while prioritizing your own growth. On the other hand, surrounding yourself with the right people doesn't just mean cutting off the wrong ones. It also means actively seeking out those who inspire and challenge you. You need to be around people who are ahead of you, people who have already accomplished what you are trying to achieve. If you want to build a business, spend time with entrepreneurs. If you want to get in shape, spend time with people who take fitness seriously. If you want to develop a stronger mindset, surround yourself with people who think positively and take action. Being in the right environment forces you to level up. When you are surrounded by people who set high standards for themselves, you naturally start to raise your own standards. One of the best ways to find the right people is through networking, mentorship, and joining communities that align with your goals. If you don't have successful or ambitious people in your immediate circle, seek them out. Go to seminars, join online groups, attend networking events, and put yourself in places where high achievers gather. The internet has made it easier than ever to connect with like-minded individuals. Follow people who inspire you, read books from successful individuals, and consume content that elevates your thinking. Even if you can't physically be around successful people yet, you can still learn from them and absorb their mindset. It is also important to understand that the right people will not just encourage you when things are going well, they will also hold you accountable when you start slipping. Real friends don't just tell you what you want to hear, they tell you what you need to hear. They challenge you, call you out when you're making excuses, and push you to be better. If you are serious about rebuilding yourself, you need people in your life who won't let you settle for less than your potential. At the same time, you should also strive to be the kind of person that others want to be around. If you want to attract high-quality people into your life, you have to become a high-quality person yourself. Be someone who adds value, who supports and uplifts others, and who leads by example. The energy you put out will attract similar energy back to you. If you are constantly growing, improving, and striving for more, you will naturally attract others who are on the same path. Your environment plays a massive role in your success, and the people you surround yourself with will either help you rise or cause you to fall. If you are serious about rebuilding yourself in 2025, take a hard look at your circle. Let go of the relationships that are holding you back. Seek out people who inspire you and make sure that you are creating an environment that supports your growth. Building self-discipline is one of the most powerful things you can do when rebuilding yourself in 2025. It is the ability to do what needs to be done, even when you don't feel like doing it. It is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who constantly make excuses. Motivation is great, but it is temporary. It comes and goes. Discipline, on the other hand, is what keeps you going when motivation fades. It is the foundation of success in every area of life, whether it's health, finances, relationships, or personal growth. One of the biggest misconceptions about self-discipline is that it is something you either have or don't have. The truth is, discipline is like a muscle. It gets stronger the more you use it. The reason so many people struggle with discipline is because they rely too much on their emotions. They wait until they feel like it before taking action. But feelings are unreliable. There will be days when you don't feel like working out, waking up early, or sticking to your goals. If you let your emotions control your actions, you will never be consistent. People who are disciplined don't let their feelings dictate their decisions. They do what needs to be done regardless of how they feel. The key to building self-discipline is developing strong habits. When something becomes a habit, you no longer have to think about whether or not to do it. You just do it automatically. This is why successful people don't rely on willpower alone. Willpower is limited, but habits create structure. If you make it a habit to wake up early, exercise, read, and work on your goals every day, it becomes second nature. The hardest part is getting started, but once a habit is formed, it requires much less effort to maintain. One of the biggest enemies of self-discipline is procrastination. People often tell themselves, I'll do it tomorrow, or I'll start next week. But tomorrow turns into next week. Next week turns into next month, and before you know it, nothing has changed. The best way to defeat procrastination is to take action immediately. When you set a goal, start working on it right away, even if it's just a small step. The longer you wait, the harder it becomes. Action creates momentum, and once you start moving, it becomes easier to keep going. Another important aspect of self-discipline is setting clear goals. If you don't know exactly what you are working toward, it's easy to get distracted or lose motivation. Your goals should be specific, measurable, and time-bound. Instead of saying, I want to get in shape, set a goal like, I will work out for 30 minutes every day for the next 90 days. Instead of saying, I want to make more money, say, I will save $500 per month for the next 6 months. The more specific your goal, the easier it is to stay disciplined. Discipline also requires removing distractions. It is hard to stay focused when you are constantly surrounded by temptations that pull you away from your goals. If you are trying to be more productive, but your phone is always distracting you, put it on silent or in another room while you work. If you are trying to eat healthier, but your kitchen is full of junk food, remove the temptation by keeping only nutritious options available. Your environment plays a huge role in your ability to stay disciplined. So set yourself up for success by eliminating anything that makes it harder to stay on track. Another major part of self-discipline is learning how to push through discomfort. Growth is not comfortable. Progress requires sacrifice. You will have to wake up early when you'd rather sleep in. You will have to work out when you'd rather relax. You will have to put in extra hours when you'd rather watch TV. Discipline is about choosing what you want most over what you want right now. Most people let short-term comfort keep them from long-term success. They give in to distractions, laziness, and bad habits because it feels good in the moment. But disciplined people understand that short-term sacrifices lead to long-term rewards. Accountability is another powerful tool for building self-discipline. When you keep your goals to yourself, it's easy to let yourself off the hook. But when you have someone keeping you accountable, you are more likely to follow through. Find a mentor, coach, or friend who will check in on your progress and push you to stay on track. Join a group of like-minded individuals who are also working toward their goals. Having someone to hold you accountable makes a huge difference in maintaining discipline. Self-discipline is not about being perfect, it's about being consistent. There will be days when you slip up, when you don't follow through, or when you feel like giving up. The key is to not let one bad day turn into a bad week or a bad month. If you miss a workout, get back on track the next day. If you break your diet, make the next meal a healthy one. The most disciplined people in the world are not perfect, but they don't let small failures stop them from continuing the journey. Building self-discipline is not easy, but it is necessary for success. It requires daily effort, a strong mindset, and the ability to push through challenges. If you master discipline, you will have the power to control your habits, your actions, and ultimately, your future. Staying consistent is a secret weapon of success when rebuilding yourself in 2025. It's not about making big moves once in a while. It's about showing up every single day, even when you don't feel like it, even when nobody is watching, and even when progress seems slow. Most people start strong, but very few people stay committed. They go hard for a few weeks, then life gets in the way, distractions creep in, motivation fades, and they fall back into their old habits. The people who truly succeed are the ones who keep going no matter what. They don't rely on motivation. They rely on discipline and commitment. They understand that consistency is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. One of the biggest mistakes people make is thinking that success happens overnight. They see someone who is fit, successful, or financially free, and they assume that person got lucky. What they don't see is the years of effort, sacrifice, and consistency behind the scenes. The best athletes didn't get strong by working out once a week. The most successful entrepreneurs didn't build their businesses by working on them only when they felt like it. The most skilled musicians didn't become great by practicing every now and then. They all became great because they committed to showing up, putting in the work, and staying consistent for years, even when they weren't seeing immediate results. One of the hardest parts of consistency is pushing through when progress feels slow. This is where most people give up. They start working out but don't see results fast enough, so they quit. They start a new business but don't make money right away, so they stop. They try to develop a new skill but struggle in the beginning, so they assume it's not for them. But the truth is, success compounds over time. The results you want won't always be visible in the beginning, but every small effort adds up. The workout you did today might not show in the mirror tomorrow, but over months and years, it will transform your body. The money you save this month might not make you rich, but consistently saving and investing will build wealth. The book you read today might not change your life instantly, but consistently feeding your mind with knowledge will make you smarter and more capable. The key is to keep going even when it feels like nothing is happening. One of the best ways to stay consistent is to create a routine. When something becomes a non-negotiable part of your daily schedule, it's easier to stick with it. Instead of relying on willpower, build habits that make it automatic. If you want to get in shape, schedule your workouts at the same time every day so they become part of your lifestyle. If you want to grow a business, set aside dedicated time each day to work on it, no matter what. If you want to improve your mindset, make reading, journaling, or meditation a daily practice. Consistency is not about doing a lot at once. It's about doing a little bit every day without fail. Another key to staying consistent is setting realistic expectations. Many people fail because they start too big and burn out. They try to change everything at once, and when they can't maintain it, they quit altogether. The best way to build consistency is to start small and build up over time. If you want to start working out, don't commit to 2-hour gym sessions every day if you've never exercised before. Start with 15-30 minutes, but do it consistently. If you want to start waking up early, don't suddenly try to wake up at 5 a.m. if you're used to sleeping in. Start by waking up 30 minutes earlier and gradually adjust. Small, consistent actions lead to big results over time. Discipline plays a huge role in consistency. There will be days when you don't feel like doing the work, days when you're tired, busy, or just not in the mood. But those are the most important days to show up. Anyone can stay consistent when they feel motivated. The real test is whether you can stay consistent when motivation is gone. Successful people understand that feelings are temporary, but habits and routines create results. They don't give themselves the option to quit just because they don't feel like it. They treat their commitments like appointments that can't be missed. Accountability is another powerful tool for staying consistent. When you keep your goals to yourself, it's easy to slack off. But when you have someone holding you accountable, it adds pressure to follow through. Find a workout partner, join a mastermind group, hire a coach, or simply tell a trusted friend about your goals. When someone else is watching, you are more likely to stay consistent. Public accountability can be a great motivator because nobody wants to be seen as someone who gives up easily. Another major challenge with consistency is dealing with setbacks. No matter how disciplined you are, life will throw obstacles in your way. You might get sick, go through personal struggles, or experience unexpected challenges. The key is to not let a setback turn into a permanent stop. Missing one workout, one work session, or one productive day won't ruin your progress, but quitting altogether will. The most consistent people in the world are not perfect. They just refuse to let setbacks stop them. They adjust, adapt, and get back on track as quickly as possible. Consistency is about playing the long game. Too many people look for quick fixes and shortcuts, but real success requires long-term commitment. The most successful people in any field didn't get there by doing something once or twice. They got there by staying consistent for years. Whether it's fitness, career growth, financial success, or self-improvement, the formula is the same. Show up every day, do the work, and keep going even when it feels slow. Rebuilding yourself in 2025 is not about making a few temporary changes. It's about committing to a new mindset, new habits, and a new way of life. It's about setting clear goals, believing in your ability to achieve them, surrounding yourself with the right people, building self-discipline, and staying consistent no matter what challenges come your way. Success isn't reserved for a lucky few. It's available to anyone willing to put in the work. You don't have to wait for the perfect moment. The perfect moment is now. Every step you take, no matter how small, brings you closer to the person you are meant to become. The journey won't always be easy, but it will be worth it. Stay committed, stay focused, and most importantly, never give up on yourself. Good luck on your journey, and may 2025 be the year you transform your life for the better. Thank you, and keep pushing forward.